This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
So Valerie, my beautiful wife and fellow real estate broker, recently had our second son. Baby Ben was born a couple weeks ago, and our house is just absolutely chaotic. There's people coming in and out, bringing food and just showing love on Valerie and just supporting our family as we, go through the sleepless nights and everything that having a new baby boy entails. And somebody made the comment the other day about how our house was staged so nicely. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's an absolute disaster. There's diapers everywhere, changing pads, and a lot of toys. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Your house is staged monster truck chic. So they're just joking with us because there's a lot of monster trucks in our home. But speaking about staging the home, we have Sally and Vicki with us today from Premier Home Staging and Design. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Hi.
So would you agree with that? Is that a professional staging term? Home, like monster truck chic?
Sometimes it can be quite themed.
Yes. We had a stager that we knew of that was Grandma Coastal Chic.
Grandma Coastal Chic.
Yes.
Love it. Okay.
Grandma Glam.
Grandma Glam. So you are both professional stagers though?
Yes.
Right, with Premier Home Staging and Design. And how long have y'all been doing that, respectively?
I've been doing it for approximately 9 years.
So Vicki, you've been doing it 9?
With Premier.
With Premier.
Yes.
Wow.
I had some other experience outside of that.
Okay.
And I'm going on 4 years.
4 years. Wow. So in all of those years, combined, what is that, 13 years combined experience with Premier Home Staging and Design? What are some interesting things that you've seen or like staging transformations? Do you have any great staging transformation type stories that come to mind?
Yeah, definitely. When we have go into a preview and you see somebody's home that's either being packed up to move or maybe they haven't moved anything yet, and you just notice all the furniture that they're living with. And so you have to kind of look past all that and decide what furniture would be best to accentuate their home, and then be able to specify all that furniture, get it all in the truck, and then bring it back in and make their home just a totally different look.
Sometimes I go into those homes that have been staged, whether it's the builders or like stagers like yourself, and I'm like, man, I want my house to look like this.
That can happen.
Have you ever had like people come home after you've staged a property and be like, oh man, I want to live here. Forget it. I'm not selling the house anymore.
All the time.
That's the ultimate compliment.
It is.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate compliment. So how long typically does it take for you to go in and stage a property and complete that transformation?
About 4 to 5 hours, depending on the extent of the
size of the home.
Yeah.
How many rooms we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just the staging part of it. Obviously, there's like 3 steps to it.
Oh, what are the 3 steps?
So first we go out and preview a home. And that's where, we write our design notes on what furniture, what design layout, what art, what accessories are needed for that design. And then we go back to the warehouse, and then that's another day of prepping for it. So we go through and we tag all of the furniture.
So you don't keep all the furniture in your car all the time?
No, wish we could, though. We love it when our boss sends us options. Multiple consoles.
Good old Nicole.
Yes. Yeah.
So the step 1 is you visit the property and you kind of get an idea of what you need. Step 2 is you
prepping for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then stage day.
Okay. Wow.
So total, you're looking at about an hour to preview the house. And then prep is usually, again, depending on the size of the house, can be anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. And then staging day can be anywhere from 4 to 6 hours.
4 to 6. Man, they say moving is one of the most stressful things in life. Yeah, and that's what you two do for a living. Yeah. Essentially moving furniture in and out of homes. Yeah. But you've been doing it for so long, you enjoy it. What's it you enjoy most about the job?
I enjoy the transformation. So I do both. I do staging and design. So
what's the difference?
So the difference is staging, we are staging it with photography in mind, because these houses are going to be photographed and listed on MLS. So we want it to be an open floor plan. just very minimal, or not minimal, but, just not overly cluttered.
Like the tall things that are going to obscure a camera's shot.
Yeah. So we keep all of that in mind when we're staging. And then with design, it's more tailored to
the user.
Yeah,
family.
Exactly. Their family. And with staging, it doesn't have to make sense. And with design, it does, because you have people living in the house. Staging is just purely
interesting. Yeah. So staging, it's all about the looks.
Yeah. So that TV is not actually where that cable is coming from.
Got it. That's a good point. Yeah.
So,
okay. Staging and design. I never even considered there being a difference. And then design is like, hey, these are the colors I like. These are the furniture style I like.
It's tailored more towards the homeowners and what their style is exactly.
Okay.
So it takes much longer to design a home because you're having to get approval for everything. Whereas with staging, I go in, it's my design, and we go back to the warehouse and pull it all together. Nobody gets to say yes or no.
Got it.
I get to do my thing.
It's a blank canvas and you're the painter on that one.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. Otherwise, you're being like, what is it called? Commissioned? If you're commissioning a painting, it's like, hey, I want the self-portrait, Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. And so when you are going into a home and staging it, like what stands out to you when you're walking a house for the first time? Because like when I go into a home as a real estate agent, I'm like, oh, there's dry rot. Oh, they're going to need to do this. Oh, they're going to need to do that. Or, wow, this is really incredible. Like, is there anything that stands out to you when you're walking through a home for the first time?
There's several things that stand out. One, how clean the house is. The smells that come with it.
Oh, the smells. Yes.
the lighting. A lot of light bulbs that haven't either been changed or they're not the same color.
It's like easy fixes that have just been neglected over time.
Yeah.
The smoke detector that's beeping every few seconds.
I just pulled the batteries out. Yeah.
And just the challenge.
light fixtures that are missing light bulbs.
So when you walk into like a friend or family member's house, are you like, do those things jump out at you? Or do you turn it off?
Oh, it's always on.
Yeah.
It's always on.
I move furniture in my friends' houses all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
I've done it even at Airbnbs. I'm like, that art needs to be lower.
Okay. So what's the correct height? Because I've heard feedback from clients where they're like, oh, they came here and they told me I need to move my photos. Like I need to change the height of them.
Yes.
So what's the correct height? What are you looking for there?
So again, it's a little different with staging than with design, but I mean, ultimately it's eye level. But with staging, you go a little lower, and maybe with design, you might go a little higher.
What's the benefit to it being lower for staging?
It's just all photography.
Okay. Yeah. So it just makes the ceilings look higher when the art's a little bit lower, or
it just feels more connected to the room. So when it's too high, you get too much of a wall gap.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So now you need to go home to your monster truck chic and make sure
monster truck chic
a little bit lower.
Oh my gosh, yes. So this is just fascinating because like you've worked with the Tom Daves team for about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that correct? So in those 5 years, like, man, I mean, but Tom and I partnered a while back, but we've sent you out to a lot of homes. Mm-hmm. And what we appreciate about working with you is that you're able to go in there and give a professional opinion, because marketing a home and determining the price and doing all that is very different than going in and staging a home. Like, it's a completely different skill set. To me, it's like somebody who does heart surgery and somebody that does knee surgery. Like, you're both doctors, but they're completely different. And so when you go into these homes and you're inspecting or like giving the consultations, is there anything that you would want the client to know prior to you going in? Like, hey, if they only knew this, it would make their lives so much easier. If they only knew this, it would make the home sell so much faster.
Mm-hmm. I think the idea that less is more, that if they are really planning on moving, let's get packing. Most people live with much more furniture than they actually need. And it doesn't do the home justice to have so much furniture.
Got it.
Sometimes we're putting just a a side chair in the garage or something, just because they want seating for family and things like that. But we want to show the space of the room.
We want the room to look larger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you don't want to walk into a crowded room, because then you automatically think, oh,
there's not enough
small room.
space.
Where's my stuff going to go?
Yeah. Or you
Yeah.
get distracted by their personal items, clown collections and things like that.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking the clowns. It's such a thing. Clowns and those little figurines. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah. It's not for everyone.
It's not for everybody. How do you handle those conversations though? Because this is their home. This is like where they go to get away from everything else, and it's their sacred space. How do you handle those conversations?
Very tactfully.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are as gentle as we can be, but being honest, and we just kind of explain to them, when I go to consult a house, I'll tell them, you know what, we're going to get your house photo ready. Less is more. Which means that we're going to have to, take away some furniture, take away some knickknacks. It doesn't have anything to do with your style or any of that. It's just we want to maximize the space in this room.
It's not a personal.
And depersonalize the house so that prospective buyers can, envision themselves in the home while they're looking at it.
Yeah.
So
that's such a good point.
They're usually receptive, but sometimes, people do take a little bit of offense, like, oh, my furniture is not good enough, or, and I just reiterate, it doesn't have anything to do with your style. It's just,
But that rooster collection will look really nice in the new house.
Yeah,
it
it'll
will.
look
It
good.
needs to be boxed up.
It needs to be
great.
boxed up anyway.
Yeah.
You're moving. so,
Exactly.
yeah.
And that's exactly.
And it can be
that's-
distracting for, potential buyers.
Correct.
We always tell them you'll be ahead of the game. You'll be, partially packed when the house sells.
I love that. Yeah. And that's a good point. So in the next segment, we're going to be talking about homes that were on the market, did not sell, and you came in, you gave some design suggestions, some staging suggestions, and we were able to get it sold. Back after this.
If you're struggling financially right now, you are not alone. Times are tough for a lot of people. Like Steve in Roseville, he needed some extra money fast. So he decided to sell his property and gave our friend Johnny Jennings a call with the Tom Daves real estate team. Johnny guarantees that he can sell any home. So Steve knew he'd be able to get the money he needed, and that's exactly what happened. Johnny Jennings and his team was able to get Steve multiple offers and even sold the home on the timeline that Steve wanted.
So if you've been wondering what kind of offers you can get on your home, now you can find out. When you talk to Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves real estate team, you can reach out at 855-TOM-DAVES, or you can go online to tomdaves.com. That's Tom, DAVES.com. You are not going to regret working with the professionals, Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves real estate team. So give them a call today. License number 581837.